You have heard these animals your whole life, and every sound was fake. Every animal on this list is extinct. No human ever recorded them. So scientists studied their bones, their throats, and their closest living cousins to rebuild the real voices. And some of them are nothing like the movies. One of them made no sound at all, and that is the scariest one of all. We are counting down all 10, saving the most bone-chilling for number 1. Turn your volume up. You are about to hear things that have been silent for thousands of years. Number 10. T-Rex. Forget the movie roar. That famous scream you grew up with was borrowed from other animals. Therefore, the real sound stayed a mystery for decades. Scientists studied the throat of its closest living cousins, the crocodile and the bird. Therefore, they pieced together something nobody expected. The king did not screech at all. Picture this, a deep rumble so low your chest feels it before your ears catch it. It does not roar to scare you. It rumbles to call across a forest, but that low growl could freeze prey in place. You think you know this monster, but you have never actually heard it. Press play. Number 9. Woolly mammoth. Everybody pictures a giant elephant, therefore everybody assumes it sounded just like one. Wrong. Imagine an animal built for a frozen world, with a trunk longer than a car, but the air pushing through it was nothing like the elephants you hear at the zoo today. The cold changes everything. A blast in icy air carries farther, therefore the call had to cut through howling wind across empty white plains. Some think it was a low moan, others think a trumpet so loud it shook the snow. You have heard an elephant before, but you have never heard one calling through a blizzard. Want to know which one is real? Listen closely. Number 8. Megalodon. This one is different, therefore it might be the scariest on the whole list. A shark this size, longer than a school bus, made no scream to warn you. That is the horror. Picture you are floating in warm water, but something the weight of a truck is rising below your feet in total silence. You would never hear it coming. What you would hear is the water itself moving, a deep pressure wave. Therefore, the ocean seems to inhale right before the jaws close. Sound designers rebuilt that rush of water around a bite strong enough to crush a car. You think silence is safe? Press play, but never swim the same again. Number 7. Saber-toothed tiger. Those teeth get all the attention, but the real shock was never the bite. It was the voice. For years, people guessed it roared like a lion. Therefore, movies gave it the same proud, booming sound. New research says that may be totally wrong. Imagine a cat the size of a bear that could not roar at all, but instead screamed a sound closer to a house cat, blown up 100 times louder. Picture that cry echoing through a dark forest at night. It would crawl right up your spine. Was it a mighty roar or a chilling scream? You are about to find out exactly how this killer sounded. Hit play. Number 6. Dodo. You know the name is an insult, but you have never once wondered what it actually sounded like. That is the strange part. This chubby bird could not fly, therefore it had no reason to stay quiet or hide its voice from anything. Some scientists believe its name came straight from the call it made. A simple repeated note that early sailors heard across the island. Picture a plump bird, taller than a turkey, waddling up to greet you with zero fear. What noise would a fearless bird make? Was it a coo, a honk, or something stranger? You are seconds away from hearing the voice behind the joke. Play it now. Number 5. Velociraptor. Hollywood lied to you about almost everything here. The real hunter was about the size of a turkey, covered in feathers, but do not laugh yet. Small does not mean harmless. Imagine a pack of these clever killers talking to each other in the dark, using clicks, hisses, and low sounds you would expect from a bird, not a monster. That is what makes it worse. A roar warns you, therefore you can run, but a soft chirp behind you means it is already too close. Picture that quiet sound in the bushes at night. The movie scream was fake. So, what did this animal truly say to its pack? Press play to hear it. Number 4. Thylacine. We almost had this animal's voice on tape. The last one died in a zoo less than 100 years back, but almost nobody alive has ever heard it. People called it a tiger. Others called it a wolf. The truth is, it was neither. Imagine a striped hunter that moved like a dog, yet opened its jaws wider than seemed possible. Keepers who watched it described a strange coughing bark, a noise unlike any pet you have ever owned. Picture that odd yapping cry drifting across the island bush at dusk. We came so close to saving its sound, therefore losing it stings even more. You can still hear an echo. Press play. Number 3. Spinosaurus. Bigger than the T-Rex you saw earlier, this monster spent its life in the water. That changes the sound completely. Most people never picture a giant meat-eater swimming, but this one chased fish with a long snout shaped just like a crocodile's. Water carries sound in a deep, heavy way. Therefore, its call would rumble low across a flooded river. Imagine a bellow so deep it vibrates the mud under your feet. It would not screech up high like a smaller hunter. It would groan from somewhere dark below the surface. You have never heard a swimming giant speak. Curious what a river monster this big sounded like? Press play to find out. Number 2. Quetzalcoatlus. Nothing flying today comes close to the size of this creature. This thing was as tall as a giraffe, with wings wider than a small plane, but it ruled the sky. Picture its shadow sweeping over the ground, blocking the sun for a moment. Therefore, every creature below froze in fear. Now ask yourself the real question. What sound comes out of a flying reptile that huge? It was not a cute little tweet, that much is certain. Some imagine a deep croak, others a harsh screech that ripped across the sky. A noise that big would reach you from miles away. You are about to hear the call of the largest flyer ever. Press play. Number 1. Dire wolf. Number 1 earns its spot for one reason, the howl. This was a real wolf, heavier and stronger than any wolf alive today, but it hunted in packs across a frozen land. You already know how a normal wolf howl makes your skin prickle. Now make that animal bigger, with a deeper chest, therefore a lower, longer, more haunting cry. Imagine dozens of them answering each other under a cold moon, the sound rolling across the snow for miles. That is the call that ended whole herds. It is the perfect sound to close this list. You waited through 9 animals for this one. Picture the pack lifting their heads. Press play. And that howl is exactly why the dire wolf earns number 1. But here's the thing, these are just 10. There were thousands more, and their sounds are being rebuilt right now. Creatures that flew, that swam, that hunted in the dark. If you want to hear the ones nobody talks about, hit subscribe. Every week we bring another extinct world back to life, one sound at a time. Your ears have never heard anything like what's coming next. So subscribe, turn your volume up, and let's wake the dead together.